What's going on, B.A.M crew? It's your boy, the WayneBreezie. Mike will be here in a second. We got Face Off Friday. It's the 49ers, the Detroit Lions, Monday Night Football. Easy peasy. Right after this. What's good, everybody, especially the 49er faithful that's in the building. Welcome to the B.A.M show. It's been a long time coming. We haven't brought you an episode due to the holidays, but we are live in full effect, and we do appreciate you for being here. I see my man Mike looks like he's setting up. He's ready to go remotely. Mike, give me the thumbs up when you're ready to come in. Again, shout out to the B.A.M crew. Mike, what's going on out there, baby?
Yo, what up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Hope everyone is well, enjoying the holidays as much as they can, and let's talk that talk, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, man, I'm just living a life, man. Life's good, everything's good. 49ers about to lose again. I'm good, I'm just real good.
How we doing?
That's how we doing. Look, my man Boats is saying this. He can't wait for my kids and I first Monday night game in person. Going to be a great game, win or lose. Mike, you ever been to a Monday night football game?
I
can't remember if I have either.
I went to a Niners Packers game in 2021. I don't know if that was Monday night or not, though.
Yeah. I don't think I've been to.
I know it was a primetime game.
I've been to primetime games, mainly Sunday nights, but I don't think I've ever been to a Monday night game. Dang, we were supposed to be at this Monday night game. Now that I think about it, but what had happened was.
Wait, this game is on Monday?
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you how much I don't care about the Niners right now. It's not that I don't care, right? I feel so free, Wayne. Like, we get to watch without expectations. Like, it's a different vibe. It's a different energy. It's a different mood.
Definitely.
I'm not worried about whether or not they're going to win, how good or bad they're going to look, and none of that. Like, it don't bother me. I wish I could block that sun from being in my face, but I can't. Sorry. And so I'm excited to just sit back and just relax. Like, football's on, ain't no stress because the expectations aren't there to win. Like you said, we about to take another L, right? Like, it's just we've just accepted it, and we're looking forward. I want to evaluate and just go. I just want to just go,
I know Lion fans are the Lion fans are pissed because it feel like we gave up on the team. We didn't give up. It's just, it's over. You know what I mean? When it's over, it's over. There's nothing you could do about it, but just continue to roll out there and play football. And a lot of players are going to be shut down for this game, Mike. And so we'll talk about that as well. Miss Debbie says, greetings, Wayne and Mike. Sending blessings to everyone in the chat today. Please hit that like button. Guys, don't forget that like button. Miss Debbie just asked you to as well on both channels. We need to start a hashtag for Mike, too. Yeah, start NBN. Just hashtag NBN. You do that. Super, super easy. All right?
Why are we starting hashtag? I don't, what?
Nah, Miss Deb said start it, so we're going to start it. All right? Peachy in the building. Good afternoon, Breezy, Mike, and the faithful. We really need to tank. Peachy wants to really tank the next two games. I'm just curious to know, do you feel the same sentiments?
Well, we talking about a top 12 pick versus a, 16?
Right now we're at 11, so.
Oh, that's even better than what I thought. So, if we lost the rest of them, we could probably pick an even higher. I'm kind of with Peachy. I'm with Peachy. Let's go out there and evaluate. I'm not saying and it's hard to be fold, tank, right? Because the players out there putting their bodies on the line don't feel that way. It's up to the coaches to tank successfully. You got to call the bad plays. Mm-hmm. You got to call the wrong plays, but see if they do what they told to do. You know what I mean? And then evaluate the effort afterwards. Because if you call the right plays, then it's a chance that we could end up winning, and you don't want to do that. But then again, if history has taught us anything this year, we ain't been calling the right plays that we can execute. So, I guess go out there and call your normal game. But we're going to lose. It's okay. We're not going to win. So it's okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, this would be the week they win though, because our expectations are we're gonna lose. Like we don't have any expectations of them winning. So this is the week the Niners will go out and get a win.
Another reason I think that you might be onto something there is because of how many injuries the Lions have had to that defense.
Yeah.
Kyle knows how to manipulate inexperienced players,
Right.
and that's kind of like his strength. And so I often think about that when I'm talking about this Lions game. It's like he's going to really be able to get in his bag in this game, and we're going to have a shot. I just don't know. Like, it should be the game that the defense and the offense kind of match each other in this one. The Lions don't have this amazing defense. We should be okay right now.
Interesting. Well, shout out to Tanisha. She says, "Good afternoon, Mike and Wayne Bamley. Happy holidays to you as well, Tanisha. It's good to see you. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew members, man. If I don't get to all of you guys, it's a shorter show, but definitely we'll get to them. Rob D, I see you out there. AB, all the other subscribers to the channel, man. Appreciate you guys. Carla, I see you as well. Go Niners. Matt says trust is going to be a blowout. Listen, it doesn't. At this, Chrissy 1687 it's a different vibe. At this point, it's just I just want to. I'm going to watch 49er football, like Mike said, with zero expectations. Depending, but I do. You know what? I'm not going to say. I take that back. I won't watch it with zero expectations. The players that are out there, I still expect them to execute. I think my only expectations are execution, like at this point. And it's been that though all season. You keep saying we call the wrong plays, we do this, and I totally disagree. We just don't execute the plays that are being called. So I still expect players to go out there and execute. And Mike, over or under, real quick, offensively, over or under 5 penalties. Over or under 5 penalties in this Monday Night Football game. Over or under.
Over.
Everybody out there in the chat can guess. We had 5 last week. So do we go over that?
Yeah, over. More offensive linemen getting shuffled in and out. Another running back added to the mix. Ivan Laconda should finally get a carry or two, like some more opportunities for injuries. I mean, not injuries, penalties. So yeah, I'm gonna take it over. I like 6.
All right, so 6. All right. Just to add to the injuries for you guys out there that don't know, but Colt McKivitz has a knee injury. All right. He was missing at the start of practice on today. So just to remind everybody that the 49ers currently may have a different offensive line starting in this game except for Dominic Pooney. He's going to be the only player out there that Brock Purdy recognizes. We might even have some of these new guys. Let's talk about the signing of Matt Hennessy, the 2-year deal, the center offensive lineman, the guard. What are your thoughts on that? Like, Mike, does he play Monday? I'm going, yeah. You got all these
I don't think he's played all year long, right? Isn't this the guy that came from the Falcons that was injured all year?
My point exactly. So does he play?
Come off the bench and just play for the Niners? Nah, he's not going to play. I think Gutierrez gets in before Hennessy does, and I don't even think they play the same position. So, I don't.
So why sign him to a 2-year deal if you're not going to play him in the next 2 games?
Because he might be able to play the next game. I don't think he's going to come off the bench and just come in and play right away.
I think he plays. I think he plays. I think the heck dude plays. There's no Aaron Banks. There's no Spencer Burford. There's no Nick Zakel will probably get the start, right? Number 63. Yes. He'll probably get the start at the guard. So those are your 2 guards. So who's going to play tackle? You don't have any tackles out there. 2 guys you signed?
I mean, it looks that way on paper.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. That's
where Seabass comes in.
That's where who comes in?
Sebastian. Ain't his name Sebastian Gutierrez? Or is it Alfredo?
It's Sebastian.
We had both of them.
Yeah. Well, he's a tackle, so he'll be out there regardless. My question is, who's going to be the other tackle? Do you slide Zakel out to tackle? He did play tackle in college. You know what the real question is? Do you play Brock Purdy? That's the question that I'm asking at this point.
Yes, but yes. What reason wouldn't you?
Uh, only starting offensive lineman he has is Jake Brendo and Dominic Pooney, maybe. Just like
So, what is he's healthy? Why wouldn't you play him?
I know. I'm just saying, are you a little nervous that he doesn't? He already sucks with the starting offensive line. He already struggles with the starting offensive line. So, how do you think it's going to be with the new offensive line? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Why do you say it like that? He already sucks with the start off. Wait, yo, you make me laugh, man. I'll be thoroughly entertained with your, it's your inflection, it's how you say stuff. It ain't even what you, it's how you say stuff. But
I didn't mean to
I
say
mean,
that he sucked, but he not having a good year
well,
with
because
this.
no, you're absolutely right. I agree with you. I don't have expectations for him to look good, even if the offensive line was healthy. So get out there and play. You could be bad behind the bad offensive line too.
Oh, okay. I'm more concerned about not him being bad. It's more about him like getting injured. And then all of a sudden it's like, dang. Well, at least the Niners know they're gonna be drafted the quarterback. Like that's the bright side. That's the way I would look at it on a positive note. But I'm with you though, Mike. Play Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy starting quarterback. He's gonna be looking for a buku cash. He need to go out there and find a way to get his team to win a football game, right? Like that. At the end of the day, that's where Brock Purdy's job needs to be. Find a way to win this football game, regardless of how it looks or it may be. He found a will to win it last year in the playoffs when it mattered.
It's true. That's true. And that defense was better last year than they are this year right now.
Speaking of defense, how you feeling about the Niners defense? The 49ers shut down Dre Greenlaw for the remainder of the season. And I think everybody else is pretty much good to go.
So I like that they shut him down only because it gave me hope that means, to me, I took that as a signal that they plan to extend him or they want him for the future.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's not under contract next year. I know he signed a 2-year extension, but wasn't that 2 years ago? Isn't it? I believe this is the last year of his deal. So
yeah, he's a free agent.
So that made me feel like they had plans to bring him back. Like, all right, let's secure him. Let's keep him around.
Yeah, like he'll be a free agent at the end of this year. John Lynch did speak about keeping him around. Obviously, they want to do that. What the price is going to be, I don't know. We're going to play maybe one episode we could guess the price or guess the cost of what it's going to take to keep Dre Greenlaw in the building. Do you pay? Let me ask you this question: do you pay Dre Greenlaw? How bad do you want Dre Greenlaw to be here, and how much are you willing to go to keep him in the building?
Bad. I want him badly.
Okay.
I ain't even gonna pause it.
Not nervous about the injuries though. How they? No. Okay.
No. I think injuries are a part of football. I think they're a part of football. I think it's a little fluky thing, and that's something that teams have to factor in. Dre Greenlaw should not be your only option. It's still the Niners' responsibility to draft backups in case of anything happening. So they got to draft and acquire these guys in free agency. But Dre Greenlaw is a key piece. He's a motivational factor. I don't know that I've ever seen a positional player break down a huddle while they were on IR. Dre Greenlaw did that for the Niners. I've never seen that before. That's how impactful his presence is to this team. You bring that back.
Oh, I agree 1,000%. But the question is, how much you willing to spend on that?
I don't know what linebackers get paid, so I would say $12 million a year. I'm just throwing that number out there. I feel like he's as valuable as George Kittle was when he got his extension. But I think tight ends get paid a little bit more than linebackers. I don't know.
Interesting. You're talking about an aging linebacker that's been dealing with season-ending injuries, not just regular injuries. We're talking about injuries that's kept him out for the season. And so, interesting you're willing to spend that much. I don't think the Niners offer him that much. I mean, I want him to be back here regardless. But I know that they're going to factor in the injury factor. This is what his second kind of like almost full season he missed. It was another season where he had an injury and he came back for like the last game or something like that and played. But I agree, like everything you said about Dre Greenlaw is 1,000% correct. I just don't know what that price is going to be. And speaking of John Lynch, Aaron says, what do you guys think of John Lynch saying we have to fix the root of this year's problems? problems with an S. I didn't get a chance to hear what John Lynch said the root of the problems were, though. Like, so can we?
I was going to say, the elaborate.
Yeah, like, can you tell us what those roots are? Because I'm curious to know what the root of this year's problems are. Like, what are the what is it? Curious to know what he said. Excuse me. So feel free to share that as well.
Well, you mind if we speculate on it for a second?
Well, I mean, I already know. I mean, part of it is injuries. Like that's one thing. Like part of it is it's just the injuries, and you're just not having your players out there. So we can't really attest to what this season would have looked like because a lot of the starters weren't there. So
you think
it's not a you guys act like Kyle Shanahan's system is plug and play, and it's not. And I think we got to stop thinking that. It's the most complicated system in the NFL, and you hear the players talk about it all the time, from the blocking schemes to the pass catching schemes. And I'm just talking, just the offense is just crazy. Like, and so, like, when you think of Kyle Shanahan's system, if he's missing pieces, for some reason, it doesn't matter what that piece is, it doesn't work. Like, the system won't work as properly. It could be a quarterback one week. It could be your running back the next week. It could be your wide receiver the next week. It's just so weird how the guys can't just plug and play. I like Ricky Pearsall's routes, but come on, man. There's reasons why he wasn't on the football field. There's reasons. You saw two of them last week. 4 for 4 in catching, but two big, costly, illegal formation procedures. One brought the ball back from the 2-yard line all the way back. So, like, it's little things like that. Like watching him line up in the wrong position. I'm wondering if that's why we didn't see Jacob Collins a little bit more this year. Because remember that play Ricky Pearsall had the big run, the jet sweep? That was supposed to be for Jacob Collins, but they lined up in the wrong spot. So it's just you got young guys out there and stuff like that. And so, just something to think about. What were you about to say, though?
I wanted to ask you if you think John Lynch thinks that the root of the issues were his roster this year.
I don't know if that's all the root. I just think part of that is the root. You got to factor in all the adversity that started with losing your starting running back, not having your starting linebacker out there, trying to go with the depth, seeing if that could work out. Then you got the death in the families to a couple of players on the team. Like, it's just so much. I think there's other roots, but I think that's just a root. Like, I think you got to look at the defensive side of the football. I think Kyle Shanahan gets the pass, and then you go to the defensive side, and do you go with Nick Sorensen one more season? Like, is that what they're going to do? Was he part of the problem? I think he's part of the problem. So
I don't know if they're going to go with Sorensen again. I wouldn't, but I mean, you got Captain Bosa saying that he wants him back another year, so fucking bring him back, right? Like let him have his guy, right? But I just don't think John Lynch is wired, especially going into a game against a team with more players on IR than you, and to even let someone question whether or not his roster was the issue.
But which players on the Lions are on the IR, bro? That's gonna, other than Aiden Hutchinson, that's detrimental to the team. Let's have that conversation.
They lost almost their whole defense, didn't they?
No, let's have that conversation. You could say Emmanuel Mosley. Okay, all right. He hasn't played a season of football since he left the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, you know what? When he was with the Niners, guess what happened? He got injured. So you could say him. You get Aiden Hutchinson. So a couple of players. Max. Couple. And think about the players we lost to the IR. We lost our starting running back and our backup running back. Like, bro, we used our 5th string running back last week, bro. And he might be playing again if Isaac Orindo can't go due to the hamstring foot injury. So I'm not saying like, and then you gotta look at money. Like, you gotta look at money. We couldn't afford certain free agents just to plug and play like the Detroit Lions were able to do. They're only paying a couple positions. We paying 25 positions. Like I 5 positions. But my point is, it's different. Montgomery's not on the IR. He's not. He's only missing three games. He played all season long. Missed 3 games. They had the best record in the NFL, and he's missing 3 games. And guess what? They still blowing teams out without David Montgomery. They didn't lose him to the IR though. I know for a fact because if I dropped him in my last week in fantasy football, bro, I would have lost him for the rest of the time of fucking fantasy football. Yeah, so it's just yeah. Take your call, man. So it's a tough question, man. We're gonna go through this. Tyrion Arnold has not been lost. He's actually not good rookie. He's not good at all. He's actually still learning and overcoming certain things. I just think that the Niners team is built off of winning with their players. When they have to put in the players that aren't as good yet, they're going to struggle. Miss Debbie said that she feels like the team is player specific. I don't think it's player specific though. I know it seems that way, but we've plugged in receivers, we've plugged in running backs, we've plugged in. All right, this is why I say it's not player specific, Ms. Deb, because when you plugged in Jordan Mason for Christian McCaffrey, it worked, right? What happened when we lost Jordan Mason, though? It's not that it's player specific. Some players just don't have it yet. Some players are still underdeveloped. Some players are still developing in the midst of a season. You know, you can't really focus. The Niners aren't a team where they can focus their team built off of a outstanding rookie that they drafted. The best rookie that they drafted, as far as that would have gave him that type of capability, was Nick Bosa, and we saw what that happened. We went to the Super Bowl that first year. You had Nick Bosa explosive on the defensive side. You had Deebo Samuel explosive on the offensive side. So that year worked, but the team was relatively a little bit more healthy. The depth was better. I think that's the area where the Niners, we thought we got better in depth, but then even our depth was injured for the majority of the season. Like Gross Matos, he didn't come until mid-season, and now he's just getting into form. So it's just this season has just been weird. Like, it's just been weird. Offensively, Niners couldn't really find themselves getting into a rhythm. So definitely some things they're gonna have to fix. Defensively, they play good for 2.5 quarters, and then they just like run out of gas. Like we really can't make stuff up. And I just, you know what I think it is? So many young players on the defense, so many new pieces moving in and out. When the offense comes out at halftime and makes those adjustments, they just get the best of the young players. And you know, it's just been a weird season overall. Mike, let's talk about this Lions game for the last 10 minutes of the show. I know there's no expectations, but there's got to be a couple of key matchups that you're excited to watch out there on the football field, and I'm just curious to know who you got off the top of the dome piece from the Detroit Lions and the 49ers.
I'm always looking to see my man Diamador Lenore and how he matches up against top wide receivers.
Yeah,
that's always going to be fun for me. I feel like corners can kind of operate independently of the rest of the defense for most of their assignments. So he's someone that I'm always looking forward to just watching and seeing how he rises to the challenge. And on the flip side, I can't remember. Who's their wide receiver too?
They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. They have Jameson Williams. They got Tim Patrick. He's been an unsung hero. Yeah, I
think Patrick is probably going to end up matching up against Mooney Ward, and I want to see. I want to see how they play against each other. Williams, he's an interesting guy. Like, he's someone that I had really high hopes for coming out. I know he had the ACL or whatever, the injury coming out, but he's been healed up from that, and I just feel like he hasn't quite got there. We've seen flashes of it, but I think Patrick, we'll see how he plays up against Mooney.
Yeah, I actually like the matchup between Tim Patrick and Charvarius Ward. You got the big body wide receiver, looks to stretch the field, definitely get down the field. He kind of like, you know what he is? He's the Jawan Jennings of their team, right? Big receiver, can get down the field, maybe a little bit more speed, great hands, can high catch the ball, high point the ball, contested catches. That's what Tim Patrick gives, Jared Goff, who likes to just play action, drop back and throw the ball as far down the field as he can. Jared Goff has that type of an arm to do something just like that. You also mentioned whoever.
The way that would be nice.
Well, we think it might be nice, but we talk about you talk about Diamador Lenore, and I actually like that. You know, I wrote about him a little bit in my biggest threats and how I think he needs to just shadow Amon-Ra St. Brown. I want to see the dog versus the dog. Like, give me that, Nick Sorensen. Please don't F that up any way, shape, or form. Predominantly, what's going to happen is, what I'm thinking is going to happen, Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson, they're going to test Lenore in the slot. Lenore's going to shut it down, and then they're going to move Amon-Ra around the football field to try to take advantage of the other DBs.
I don't know. I'm not saying that he's the best. Be clear what I'm about to say. I don't know if there's a more competitive matchup. Like the competitive spirit in Lenore and in St. Brown, this might be the matchup of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, they're feisty. I'm talking a 3-yard route. Like, they're gonna be yapping and in the spirit of football, not this emotional nonsense that you get from Metcalf. Not that. It's in the spirit of football. Like, hey, bro, you gotta. I'm gonna route you up. No, I'm locking you down. Like, it's strap time. Like that. I want to see that. That's exciting.
I'm just here for it. Like, I truly am. Like, and I think it's gonna be a problem. But that's what I said. I want to see that. But what I think Ben Johnson is gonna do is he's gonna dot his receiver up and be like, listen, we gonna put you outside and let's see how Ward handles you, or Yedem, or put you on the rookie. Why not force the matchup on Renardo Green? Like, I feel like that's what they're gonna do. But we're gonna need Nick Sorensen to kind of like trump that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be a great matchup. You know, gotta find a way to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield, like, and you didn't even mention Jameson Williams, and I don't know if you remember, but he's how their offense got started in the championship game last year. It was the run out of the backfield that got the touchdown that the Niners just didn't know what the hell hit them, and so will we be ready for that? Will we be ready for that?
No.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you know what? If there's a game that the Niners are going to be ready for trick plays, it better be this one, because this is the trick play team in the NFL right now. Like, this
trick
is the team
that'll go for it on every fourth down, no matter where they are. Like, yes.
Yeah. So aggressive. If we, I tell you what, Wayne, if we look unprepared for this game, I'm not saying we have to be successful. If we look unprepared, if we're surprised that they're going for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3, if we're surprised by the trick plays and all that stuff, I'm not saying we have to execute, but if we are just caught off guard by that, I want changes. I want big changes. I want big changes with this team.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because you know, I did my film study for the Patreon, and I did my best to figure out the 50-yard run, and you know, Fred Warner misses the tackle, bro. Like, the blocking was superb. It was a halfback toss crack to the right, so it was an outside zone play, and he cut back inside, and Fred just missed the tackle. I mean, he was getting blocked at the same time, but it's not an excuse for an all-pro player who started the season off all-pro. I don't think Fred will be all-pro this year, I'll be honest with you. But it's uncanny that the all-pro player missed that tackle, and everybody else was out of position after that, bro. Like, Talanoa Hufanga took the poor angle. It was just like...
So what's the bigger offense on that defensive play? Fred missing the tackle or everybody else being out of position? To you, your opinion, what do you think is more offensive?
I know you're going to say everybody else being out of position, but I wonder, like, when you play football, right? When you play a game, I think their expectations that Fred was going to make that tackle. Like, I really do. Now, it wasn't like he was out of position to where, like, he literally just came down thinking that Fred was going to make that tackle, bro. Like, I'm telling you. And when he realized Fred didn't make the tackle, he had to change his trajectory, and the dude just put you're not catching Devon Achane. Jahmyr Gibbs has speed like that. That's my concern. Gotta find a way to take away that explosive play, bro. They're going to screen the ball up. They're gonna play around. Mike, I watched the Detroit Lions last week, bro. Get a
You talking about
touchdown. You know what touchdown I'm talking about?
the stumble play?
Yes,
I watched that and said, "That's great." Nick Sorensen just shit himself. That's what I said when I saw that play.
bro. Sam Laporta has been ass all season, and he gets a touchdown on a play. Not only it was play action boot, they both stumbled. How crazy is that? So, like you said, the Niners need to be. That's why Nick Sorensen. This is going to be a great game for him. He's going up against a great offensive mind against Ben Johnson, their offensive coordinator. And Nick got to be on top of his game, bro. If Nick failed his game, he shouldn't get no more passes. No more, not a hall pass, not a monitor pass, not a day pass, not a spot pass. He shouldn't get any passes.
They're gonna give him passes. They're gonna say
They're
he's the
gonna give
first
him a
time
pass.
DC. They 100% gonna give him a pass. And it was fun. So you heard the story, the golf and them. They planned to stumble.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was a play. We said it was a play. It was actually a play. Like, I'm gonna bumble and stumble. I'm going to fake the handoff. You're going to bumble and stumble. Everybody's going to think we're going to fall, and I'm just going to throw the pass.
The linebacker hesitate just enough.
Just enough.
Laporta was just, oh, man.
You can't tell me that wasn't dope, bro.
I love it, man. And you know what's the best part about that play in particular? If it don't work, they say, oh, it was a busted play, and it almost was a touchdown.
Right.
You get praise for a failed play.
Who are they? Who are the Lions playing? Because that's disrespectful. Now that I think about it, do you think that Dan Campbell is going to come out and try to disrespect? Do you think he has a little bit more respect? You said yes. Okay, never mind. I don't even got to finish asking the question.
You saw what he said at the presser.
Oh, I did.
You saw what he said at the presser.
Oh,
right? Like they asked him, "Oh, Minnesota loses. You don't need to do." No. We're going out there to win. We are going out there and we're going to put up points. And we still got a sour taste in our mouth from that. The fact that he's still mentioning last year as if the Niners are even a playoff threat to him right now, tells me that one, he's over focused. But Dan Campbell has that mentality. I think Dan Campbell to coaching is what John Lynch is to GMing, and that's why I don't think that John Lynch feels that his roster is the root of the issue. I think crazy. John Lynch believes in everybody on that team. Now, do I think John Lynch likes what they do with the roster? That's where I think it's different. I don't think John Lynch likes all this cross-training nonsense that the 49ers do. You know, you asked if, what's his name, the lineman was going to play, and they were like, are you going to line him up here? And he was like, well, we're going to put them all, Kyle, we're going to put them all over the line to see where we think we can use them. Like, what? What are we saying? This is week, like, what are we talking about, bro? And he was dead serious. And no one's talking, no, that should be a big deal. 49ers content creators, that should have been a big deal. You were taking a guy who has not played in a year and some change, and you need offensive linemen. Well, we're going to see where we can put him. We're going to try him everywhere. Forget that you're going to bring him into play where he's comfortable, or where he knows his history is in the NFL. No, we're going to see where he can play, and then we'll line him up somewhere. If I had my soundboard, I'd push it. Excuse me, bitch. Like that. That's how I felt.
I mean,
it's stupid. It's stupid. And that's why none of our offensive linemen can hone their skills and become great at anything. Because we want to cross-train everybody everywhere. We do it with wide receivers. We do it with edge defensive linemen. We do it with edge rushers. We make them add weight, make them lose weight. We tinker with this guy. We tinker with that guy. Oh, man, we got Drake Jackson. He's the bust. Drake Jackson's body's been fluctuating since we drafted him. Oh, man, you know why everybody hates Aaron Banks? Because we drafted him out of position. We want to get a guy to come into not position. We want to get a guy that come into a scheme and play a different way. Then draft the guy that plays that way when you draft him. Like, we always outsmart ourselves. I think that's what the root of the issue is with the 49ers. I think that's what John Lynch doesn't like. I digress.
I mean, there's nothing to digress from. I think we've been talking about this week after week. You know, some players, some positions, they can be versatile. Some positions need to just own their craft. God forbid, like, if something goes down and you have the ability, you're out of alignment and you need a lineman to go and play guard because the guards are gone and you got a guy that plays tackle that can play. That's different. But you're right. This is what they do. They draft these players that have experience from the collegiate level, and they'll draft tackles and they'll force them to play guard. I never understood it, but I'm with you, Mike. They just need to draft the guys that fit the scheme. If outside zone is your scheme, that's why I told you on the draft show, Aaron Banks was the wrong pick. How many times did I say that? Then you redshirt the motherfucker for a whole year saying he hurt. No, he fat. That's what it was. He was too big to fit the system. No, seriously, he was too big. He was overweight. He couldn't move on his feet.
Yep.
Yeah, so now you make him go on this crazy plan to change his body. His body was built that way for 20 plus years, and now you're gonna make him shock his body, and this is why guys get injured too. We don't talk about these injuries, but this is part of the reason why some of these players even get injured. Stop making them change their bodies, man. Like draft the player, make sure Dominic Pooney. If you got that right, you got it right. I be god dog dang damned if he digresses next season. He better not.
He's starting to regress this season, and I think that never mind. But we starting to see it. The luster starting to wear off a little bit. But I think that's growing pains, and I think it's correctable. But it ain't as all glitz and glitters like it used to be.
Got a couple questions, Mike, before we get out here. One from Delvin Thomas. What's going on, Delvin? How don't we get embarrassed versus the Lions? How don't? Is there a way we do not? I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think the Niners scored more than 17 points, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Okay. I think the only way we don't get embarrassed, I think there's two ways. One, goes back to what I said at the very beginning. The inexperience of that defensive group that we're going against, I think Kyle can manipulate them to manufacture some points. Some plays. Kyle's gonna be in his play calling bag in this game. Whether or not the players execute, I don't know. But if they do, that's Wayne's word for the season, right? If they execute, we'll have a shot and staying and even going toe to toe with this Lions team. The other thing is, and this is a big if, the Vikings do what they need to do or not do, and then the Lions coast and say, you know what?
I forgot about that part of football.
Yep, we got out. It's more important to get the number one seed and do what we need to do.
So I like what you said, Mike. How do we not get embarrassed? First of all, you don't get 10 fucking penalties in a game. You don't get 10, especially on the offensive side. Defensive side, I don't even know why special teams is getting penalties at this point in life, but they got 2 penalties in the last game too, and we can't blame them on Jake Moody on that one. You can blame him for the missed field goal, but not the penalties. But at the end of the day, like Mike, I just feel like the Niners got to find a way to run the ball, bro. And the Niners offense took a big dip in production as far as rushing. The moment Jordan Mason was hurt. Like that's what it was. You got one good game out of Isaac Guerrero, and then after that, it hasn't been sustainable. Like, and so like, what? You gave me the look. I think the
dip happened when they brought Christian McCaffrey back. I think they got so focused on, we got him back now. They just they stopped using what made Mason special. I don't know how to explain it, bro.
I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. But you had to get Christian McCaffrey back into football shape. You had to get him into football shape. Did you have to use him that way? I don't know. But that's your starting running back. You bring him back. You got to get him into football shape. He had no camp. He had nothing. So he has to play. We can't say some guys got to get reps and then other guys don't got to get. Like, your guys got to get the reps. So McCaffrey had to play. My point was Mason got hurt in the same game. So what we talking about? Like, we can't make it up. Like, literally, Mason got shut down the exact same time as Christian McCaffrey got shut down. If I'm not mistaken, they both got sent to the IR, maybe on the same damn week. You can't make this up. So you not only do you lose, you lose Christian McCaffrey, but all right, cool, no problem, we got Mason. Like, you know what I mean? And then Mason goes down, and now he's like, all right, everybody's high on the rookie now. He gives you a good game. We still don't use it right because the teams come out and they know Christian McCaffrey not on the field. We ain't got to worry about the pass catching. We ain't got to worry about this. We ain't got to worry about that. We could solely stand up, stop the run, bam, and Mason not being there and Isaac Guerrero dealing with the injury. Like, bro, the run game took a big dip in production, bro. It definitely did. And it sucks because what is this offense based off of? Running the ball. Why? Because we want some pass and play action passing to go down. We want to know where Brock strives in the middle of the field. When everything is working, bro, Brock is elite. When everything is not working, meaning that run game, Brock is not even in the elite. Like he can't get off. No pause. Like he can't get into a rhythm. He can't figure it out. He's throwing inaccurate passes. He's overthrowing this, underthrowing this. How many Brock's passes skipped last week? Two passes skipping to your receivers. One shorted to Juwan Jennings. Come on, man. He got probably the most short hands on the team. You could throw it high into him. You go throw the ball up 8 feet in the air. You go get it. It's just amazing. And then in the one game, the offensive line needed to protect Brock Purdy. They definitely did last week. Brock was rushed, but these are the growing pains of not having your key players out there on the offense, Mike. Like you're gonna go through this, and I think my man Lake City said that they had 17 players injured on the IR, and 10 of them were starters from their defense. I don't give a. Where's their offense? How many people on their offense is on the IR, Mike? Because last time I checked, the Lions, I don't think any. And last time I checked, just their offensive lineman, Ragnow or Glasgow, one of them. I get their names mixed up. He's on the IR. But you know what my point is, Mike? They're the number one scoring offense in the league. So defenses have to not give up 32 points a game. Bro, their defense can be bad if offenses can't keep up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a different thing, man. The Niners need their pieces on offense, and if they don't, they're barely getting you 17 points, bro. You seen it.
You know what a bad defense does for an opposing for the offense for the team?
No.
Just gives them more opportunities to score. Let's say your defense is bad. Let's say your defense is bad, right? But let's just say your defense sucks, that y'all can't stop a nosebleed. Every time the opposing team scores, guess what happens? Your offense gets the ball back. Unless you got a bad special teams unit. Who has that? Oh, that's right.
The Niners. I'm trying to tell you, Mike, there's two pieces missing. And so then our defense goes out there, which is probably the strength of the team. And then they run out of gas in 8 minutes into the third quarter. They don't give up an explosive play for the whole time. Mm-hmm. One guy gets blown out of assignment. Next thing you know, the team right back in the game. Niners lose a close game again. Like, you can't make this stuff up, bro. Like, and it's not an excuse. I'm not giving you excuses. This is what it is.
I think John Lynch is going to get his bag this offseason. I think it starts with offensive evaluation.
It starts with coaching.
That's the scary thing. That's the scary thing with this team. I sat here and talked about how that their defense is really, really beat up, and Todd can go in there and take advantage of it. But again, every time we do something positive on offense, guess what's happening? Their high-powered offense is coming right back too. So
that's what I'm saying. Mike,
Sorensen better step the hell up.
So let me ask you this, Mike. If our defense gave up a touchdown and our offense got the ball back, our offense can't match what the Lions offense is doing this year because there's no Christian McCaffrey, there's no Jordan Mason, there's no Brandon Ayuk, there's no Trent Williams blocking. And then the rest of the offensive line has been disintegrated. So can the 49ers win this game? Sure they can. Mike gave you a couple of scenarios. You know? Will they win this game? Hell no. Mark has a question. We'll get out of here after this question, Mike, because I know you're driving. Chances we see Lions go out their way and get an offensive lineman a touchdown. So his offensive lineman, we've seen this happen. Remember last year, They didn't make the offensive lineman eligible, but they made him eligible, but the ref didn't hear it, and so then the offensive lineman scored the touchdown, and then this was against Dallas. I felt like this was against Dallas. I could be wrong. But do you remember that? And they lost that game.
I sure do. And they shouldn't have. That was a deciding play right there.
And any surprises?
It was either Dallas or the Chiefs. It was a big game.
It was a big game.
No,
That's
Dallas.
all I remember. Yeah, it could have been the Chiefs too. Like, you're right. But my question is, any way the Niners won't be prepared for a big guy scoring a touchdown? You know, the only guy I want to see get that is Trent Williams, but you think the Niners defense, like, this game to me is more on Nick Sorensen than it is Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm. And I have zero faith that he'll be prepared. I'm sorry, I don't. The first 6 offensive lineman package I see, I'm like, this might be it.
We're gonna have the wrong guys out there. Like, you don't need a wrong guy. Just put a cornerback, make him jump the route. It's going to the big fella. I don't know, man. I don't know.
They get it right. This is incentive week for the Lions. This week and next week is all incentive week. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to have a high seed. Yeah, so you go out here and everyone's looking at their stat sheet and they're looking at their incentives. And, I need this touchdown, or if I get an offensive reception, I get this. That's the kind of coach Dan Campbell is. He's going to help these guys have fun out there. He's dead serious. Let me be clear. He's very serious, but he cares about his players. He's not too far removed from being out there with those guys, right? So it's like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and y'all go out there and figure out a way to do it. You don't take it with the offense. This guy needs a sack. We're gonna blitz on that side with that guy. Go get your sack so you can get your incentive. He believes in it.
If the Niners defense give up 50 points, bro, I'm cursing. I'm doing a whole show where I just curse out the San Francisco 40. It's going to be curse words. I'm not going to monetize it. It's going to be curse words just to Nick Sorensen and how bad he's got to go. Okay? I'm just letting you know right there. Tatum Bethune, before we get up out of here, man, the 49ers are designating him to return. They open up his practice window. He's more than likely going to be playing this weekend, which he needs to be. The rookie needs to be out there. Get him out there, man. Got the injuries to D. Winters, DFF. You think he makes his first start? I think he's better than Devondre Campbell. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, that's one person you got to worry about starting. You know what? Fucking give it. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about Flanagan.
I think he's injured.
Are we coming up with 2? Are we coming up with 2 linebackers or 3?
It depends on the Lions formation, bro. I guarantee they're gonna show with 3 wideouts the majority of this game. They also run 2 tight end sets too, Mike. So remember that guy we thought we had, that tight end we thought we had, and we had to end up Brock, or what was his name? And we ended up getting Eric Saubert, but they got him Brock Wright. Wasn't that his? Nope, that's a kicker. I can't think of the dude's name. The tight end.
It was something Brock. It was Brock. It was Brock something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought so. I think so.
Not Bowers. What was his name?
It was Brock Wright. Man, I got a good goddamn memory, bro. I'm not getting old. I'm not getting old. My memory's good. Thanks, Nigel. But it's gonna be interesting.
You are getting old, and your memory is good. It's a blessing to get old, man. Don't deny that.
I'm not getting old. You're getting old. I'm not getting old. Dude, always gotta fuck up my high, man. We could have never smoked together, bro. I'd have been like, bro, real, bruh, for real.
I am a buzzkill.
Bro, that was the straight up buzz gonna tell me I'm getting old. I just sat here and said I wasn't getting old.
But I said it was a blessing to get old.
You already like messed up. Like I wasn't getting old, and then you was like, nah, you are getting old. And then you gonna try to add in. I'm not listening to the blessing part. I don't care about that.
All right, Peter Pan, my bad.
You're right. Let me live. Shoot. Let me fly. Dang. Mike, what a great show, man. I appreciate you, bro.
I would not mind seeing Winters come out there as a starter for sure. Like, I want to see the young people, man.
I think he's dinged up. That's my point.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro.
I haven't heard the latest injury report, so.
I think this is the time where the Niners need to just go grab some players that want to play football and just let them play for the next 2 weeks. Go get Shaq. Go get Shaq Barrett. You know what I mean? He ain't get claimed. You know what I'm saying? So go get Shaq Barrett. Bring Shaq Barrett in here.
Quan Alexander.
Let him rush the passer. Let him rush the passer. Niner faithful, what do you think Gibbs' stat line? I think the Niners take away the run. I think the Niners take away the run. Here's what the Niners defense does, right? The Niners defense will give you 3 yards, 4 yards, maybe even 7. And if they do that, they'll be fine. I don't see them sticking with the run consistently like that because they don't have their bruiser guy unless they use their rookie or Craig Reynolds. So I don't think that's what they – now, here's the thing. If Gibbs gets an outside explosive run, 20, 30, 40, 50-plus yard run, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. So the Niners got to just keep them out the mother freaking end zone. Make Jared Goff throw the ball. Make him throw the ball. Make him throw the ball. Maybe Malik Mustafa will get an INT. He got any interceptions on this year? He dropped one, right?
Oh, Malik.
Yeah.
He dropped 2. He got 2 drop interceptions.
Dang, that's messed up. And maybe Jair Brown is out there a little bit. No. Or I think they're done on Jair Brown for this season. Oh, he's injured anyway. He's dealing with an injury.
He got hurt too?
Yeah, ankle. So who's not hurt that's going to play in this game? Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is going to have to play. Brock Purdy's going to have to play offense and defense. He's going to have to go both ways. Pause. He's got to play offense and defense.
Who's not hurt that's going to play this game? That's funny, man.
I'm just saying. At this point, it seemed like the Cole McKivitz thing threw me because I'm thinking, at least he got his right tackle. He's got his right guard. They might do stuff strong to the right side. Put George Kittle out there. It might be pretty cool. You know what I mean? Nah.
We need a new center. We need everybody new.
It's going to be rough. Mike, send us home, bro. Happy Friday to everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in. Mike, on the B.A.M show, take us out, baby.
We live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Breezie. I'm Mike, and this is the B.A.M show.